Here is the official National Weather Service forecast for Buzzards Bay, Block Island Sound, Rhode Island Sound, and Vineyard Sound, issued at 1:09 p.m., Wednesday, August 7th. Small craft advisory in effect until 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this afternoon for Vineyard Sound, Buzzards Bay, Rhode Island Sound, and Block Island Sound. Small craft advisory in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this evening for the coastal waters south of Block Island from Montauk, New York to Martha's Vineyard. This afternoon, northeast winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. A slight chance of showers. Tonight, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots until midnight. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Thursday, east winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Thursday night, east winds 10 to 15 knots. Seas 2 to 4 feet. A chance of showers. Friday, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 3 to 5 feet. Showers likely. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles in the afternoon. Friday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots, increasing to 20 to 25 knots after midnight. Gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Showers likely. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Saturday, southwest winds 20 to 25 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 6 to 9 feet. Showers. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Saturday night, southwest winds 15 to 20 knots, becoming west 10 to 15 knots after midnight. Gusts up to 25 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. A chance of showers until midnight. Sunday, west winds 10 to 15 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Sunday night, southwest winds 10 to 15 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots until midnight. Seas 2 to 4 feet. The following is a summary of watches, warnings, and advisories in effect. A small craft advisory remains in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the following marine locations: coastal waters extending out to 25 nautical miles south of Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, and coastal waters from Montauk, New York to Martha's Vineyard extending out to 20 nautical miles south of Block Island. Here are the 3 p.m. observations for the Providence metropolitan area. In Providence, it was cloudy. The temperature was 66 degrees, the dew point 62, and the relative humidity 87%. The wind was north at 10 miles an hour. The pressure was 30.04 inches and falling. Elsewhere around Rhode Island, in Smithfield, cloudy, temperature 64, wind northeast at 3. At Newport, cloudy, temperature 65, wind north at 12. At Westerly, cloudy, temperature 65, wind northeast at 7. And on Block Island, cloudy, temperature 65, wind northeast at 10, gusting to 20. In southeast Massachusetts, in Taunton, light rain, temperature 67, wind calm. At New Bedford, cloudy, temperature 69, wind northeast at 9. And on Martha's Vineyard, cloudy, temperature 68, wind northeast at 13, gusting to 22. Once again, repeating the 3 p.m. weather for the Providence metropolitan area, it was cloudy. The temperature was 66 and the wind was north at 10. This is No Weather Radio, the voice of the National Weather Service, bringing you the latest weather forecasts, warnings, and other weather information, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Station WXJ39 serves the city of Providence and nearby portions of Rhode Island and southeast Massachusetts, including the adjacent coastal waters. We broadcast at a frequency of 162.400 MHz from the WPRO tower located in East Providence, Rhode Island. Now for the official National Weather Service forecast for Rhode Island, including Block Island, and Bristol County, Massachusetts, including Attleboro and Taunton, issued at 1:07 p.m., Wednesday, August 7th. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a 20% chance of showers. Near steady temperature in the upper 60s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour with gusts up to 20 miles an hour. Tonight, mostly cloudy. Lows in the upper 50s, except in the mid-60s across Block Island. northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday, partly sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday night, cloudy with a chance of showers. Humid with lows in the mid-60s. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Friday, showers likely. Humid with highs in the upper 70s. Southeast winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Gusts up to 25 miles an hour in the afternoon. Chance of rain 70%. Friday night, showers. A chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Near steady temperature in the mid-70s. South winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 90%. Saturday, showers in the morning. Showers likely in the afternoon. Highs around 80. Southwest winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Chance of rain 90%. Saturday night, partly cloudy until midnight, then clearing. A chance of showers until midnight. Lows in the lower 60s. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of rain 50%. Sunday through Tuesday, mostly clear. Highs in the upper 70s. Lows in the lower 60s. West winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Here are 3 p.m. conditions across southern New England's coastal waters. Off the east coast of New Hampshire and Massachusetts, at Isle of Shoals Tower, the wind was east at 3 knots. At Boston Buoy, located 16 nautical miles east of Boston, the wind was north at 4 knots. Seas were 2 feet every 6 seconds, and the water temperature was 66 degrees. At Massachusetts Bay Buoy, located 25 miles east-northeast of Boston, the wind was northeast at 4 knots. Seas were 2 feet to the south and east of Cape Cod. At Nantucket Sound Buoy, located in Nantucket Sound, the wind was northeast at 14 knots. Seas were 2 feet every 3 seconds, and the water temperature was 75 degrees. At southeast Cape Cod Buoy, seas were 2 feet, and the water temperature was 62 degrees. At Nantucket Buoy, located 54 nautical miles southeast of Nantucket, the wind was northeast at 10 knots. Seas were 6 feet every 6 seconds, and the water temperature was 66 degrees. At George's Bank Buoy, located 170 nautical miles east of Hyannis, the wind was east at 14 knots. Seas were 5 feet every 7 seconds, and the water temperature was 63 degrees. And off the south coast of New England and Long Island, at Buzzards Bay Tower, wind northeast at 13 knots. At Long Island Buoy, the wind was northeast at 16 knots. Seas were 6 feet every 6 seconds, and the water temperature was 70 degrees. At Block Island Buoy, seas were 6 feet, and the water temperature was 71 degrees. Around Narragansett Bay, observations courtesy of the National Ocean Service ports. At Providence, the wind was north at 8 knots. Connemucca Point, the wind was north at 7 knots. On Prudence Island, the wind was northeast at 6 knots. At Quonset Point, the wind was northeast at 9 knots. At Newport, the wind was northeast at 8 knots. At Fall River, and the water temperature was 76 degrees. Here is the official National Weather Service forecast for Narragansett Bay, issued at 1:09 p.m., Wednesday, August 7th. This afternoon, northeast winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots. Seas around 2 feet. A slight chance of showers. Tonight, northeast winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. Thursday, east winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas around 2 feet. Thursday night, east winds 5 to 10 knots. Seas 2 to 3 feet. A chance of showers. Friday, southeast winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming south 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Showers likely. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles in the afternoon. Friday night, south winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 4 to 6 feet. Showers likely. A chance of thunderstorms until midnight. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles until midnight. Saturday, southwest winds 15 to 20 knots with gusts up to 30 knots. Seas 5 to 7 feet. Showers. Visibility 1 to 3 nautical miles. Saturday night, west winds 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots, diminishing to 5 to 10 knots after midnight. Seas 3 to 5 feet. A chance of showers until midnight. Sunday, west winds 5 to 10 knots, becoming southwest 10 to 15 knots with gusts up to 20 knots in the afternoon. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Sunday night, southwest winds 5 to 10 knots. Gusts up to 20 knots until midnight. Seas 2 to 4 feet. Winds and seas higher and near thunderstorms. Marine hazards are in effect for the following marine locations: coastal waters extending out to 25 nautical miles south of Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket, and coastal waters from Montauk, New York to Martha's Vineyard extending out to 20 nautical miles south of Block Island. Small craft advisory remains in effect until 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this evening. Northeast winds 15 to 20 knots and seas 3 to 5 feet. Areas affected include in Massachusetts coastal waters extending out to 25 nautical miles south of Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. In Rhode Island coastal waters from Montauk, New York to Martha's Vineyard extending out to 20 nautical miles south of Block Island. When? Until 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time this evening. Impacts include conditions will be hazardous to small craft. Surface low-pressure system rides along a nearly stationary boundary to the south of our region and produces widespread rain this morning. Will dry out late morning into this afternoon with drier and cooler conditions this afternoon into Thursday. The remnants of Debbie will begin to approach southern New England Thursday night into Friday, but make its closest approach to our north and west Friday evening into Saturday. While the heaviest rains associated with Debbie's passage are likely to be west of southern New England, heavy rainfall capable of scattered instances of flooding are possible in the interior. Lesser rainfall amounts and potential flooding are anticipated for eastern areas. Pleasant weather returns Saturday night into early next week.